Hello everyone. Today we can discuss how to load the data from JSON file to a Snowflake table. Here I have a employee file which has 14 records in the form of a JSON file. If you don't have this JSON file, you can create this file by example. I can do select star from scott.emp. I can do right click here, then I can export, and here we can select the JSON file. You have an option to select the JSON. So by this way, you can create a JSON file. So already I created this JSON file, which I provided the name as employee, which has all the 14 records. And I want to load this data to a Snowflake table. So here I have created a script, create or replace table, Snow EMP, the table name I have selected, and I'm creating inside a database called DWHR. So here I want to load the JSON file data into this table. So how, let us see step by step how we can do this. First, we need to create a table in the Snowflake database, which has all the columns, whatever available in this file. Example, I have the column as employee name, e-name, job, MGR, high date. Here you can see the columns. This is a column name and this is the value. It is a kind of key value pair you can consider. So here I have the column name and this is the value and this is a column name. You can identify column name is same all 14 records. So by using this, maybe you can identify what is the column name exactly. And all the column name, the string always it appears in the double quotation, whereas integer value it is available without a double quote. And every column is separated by comma. You can see every column is separated by comma. So this is a JSON file. So here how many columns I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Somewhere around 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So somewhere we missed the count. So there are 8 columns. And I have provided the data type accordingly. Employee number, I taken number data type, and MGR, I have taken number data type, and salary and commission, I have taken float data type. Even you can take number also. But if you want to provide decimals, then we can provide the decimals, but the salary commission will never have decimals. So I'm taking number data type for salary commission. Department number also I'm taking. I did not provide any size, so by default it takes 38. If I provides the length as 4, then it allows only the number value which is of 4 digit, maximum of 4 digit. Beyond that it throws error. If I did not provide any data type, any length, so by default it takes 38. So I'm creating the table. I created the table. Okay. So now we need to create 2 metadata. One is for employee file, the other is for Snowflake. So let us see how to do this in Talend step-by-step approach. Here, I need to create a job. Right click here, create a standard job. And the purpose is job to load the data from JSON file to Snow EMP table. So what I'm writing job underscore, what is my file name? My file name is employee. So I'm writing employee. I'm loading the data from employee. So let me provide the same file name so that it will be easy for us to identify in future. Employee to, where I'm loading the data? I'm loading the data to Snow EMP table. Yes, I'm providing the table. So by seeing the inside the job name itself, we will be able to identify for which table it is getting loaded and what is your source table. If you don't want to maintain the source table name, the one more option you can maintain is file. So which will indicate job underscore file. So which is nothing but you are loading the data from file to Snow EMP. This is one more option we write. And the purpose of the data is load employee data from JSON file to Snowflake, DWH, Snowflake, Snow EMP table, Snow EMP table. So in the description also you can write, okay, you can provide the purpose of the job and you can provide the name of the job in a standard format. then click on finish. Automatically this job will appear here. Automatically the job will appear here. Okay, so now I have a job. Now I need to create a target connection. I need to create a target connection. My target is a Snowflake. My target is a Snowflake, which is EMP. So right click on the Snowflake, create a new connection, which is Snowflake connection, and I can provide, I'm providing C. Always provide the names of the database and schema that it will be better. So DWH underscore HR connection. So my target database is DWH. Inside the Snowflake, we will be having database and schema. The table will be present inside a database and schema. My table is present inside DWH HR schema. You can see at the left side. Okay, the same name I am providing. And the account, how to identify our account. You can go to Snowflake and click on here. It will show us a list of the options available. Go to admin. Here you can see there is an option called account. Here you can see there is an option called account. Here beside that there is a copy URL. Take this URL and paste that in. Why? Because this complete URL is not required for us. In this, you can see inside the URL, you can see an account name dot snowflakecomputing.com. So this is a common for every account, and this one is our account name. So you can identify the account name from Snowflake by going to this list of the options from admin. You can go to account, and here beside that you will be having copy option. Then just paste it and you can take the account name. So this is one of the way we can identify the account name, and my user ID. And the password. Warehouse. Inside the Snowflake, what happens? By default, we will be having a warehouse, which is nothing but whatever the queries we are issuing to Snowflake, it will run using the making use of warehouse. So warehouse is more important for us. Okay. You can say here you can find an option called warehouse. What is a warehouse we are having? Compute WH is a warehouse which we are having. So provide it. So by default, the client will let us know that what is our warehouse, what is our account name. Why? Because we may not have admin privileges. When we don't have admin, then this tab will not be visible for us. In that particular situation, we need to cross verify that what is the warehouse allocated for our ETL loads. This can be provided by the client. What is the schema name? My schema name is HR and the database is TWS. So click on test connection. So if there is any issue, this test connection will take a couple of minutes and it will show the error. If there is no issue in fraction of seconds, it will show the message as connection is successful. Click on next. Then here you can find the table which we created, Snow EMP. Then click on finish. Click on finish. Here you can see the table name. If you expand this, it will show the table and it will show all the columns available. Okay. So now we created the target, and where we need to pull the data. My source is JSON file. I want to load the data from JSON file, which is available in D drive. In my machine, I place the JSON file in D drive. So for the source, we call it as input delimited. And my source is a file. At the right side, you can see this. In this palette, you will be able to see list of the component available. So my component, whatever I need to choose is file, because my source is a file. Expand the file. So I want input to be taken as a file, and output, I mean the target is table, source is file. So the input is file. Here you can see multiple T file input delimited. Delimited in the sense if it is a comma separated file or text file. So in that particular situation, we can go for, and Excel is this one. And here you can say T file input JSON. Just click on this and here you can pull that. Or else you can write T file in. Whatever the components available with T, it will show. Just place the cursor, write T, it will show. There are two options. If you know the component name directly, you can write like this, file input. Then from that list, you can select. If you don't know the component name, then from the right side palette, you can expand the input and you can just pull the required component, whatever needed for you. Okay. And Basic description, extract the rows broken down into fields from an JSON structured file. It shows the basic description whenever you are placing the cursor on JSON file. And here you can see these are the list of the properties which we'll be having. Always our properties, I mean the file path, column structure, database related, metadata, everything we can go to component and we can select here. So here mine is not a schema. I wanted it as a JSON. So I already selected JSON. It is available. By default, this is the path it takes and this is a query it takes. So we need to change this. My file path is not this one. My file path is like I have placed the file here. You can see employee is the JSON file which I placed here already. You can just open here. I will get the path now. I place this in this particular path. Now here, what is the option we have to select here? Basically in the JSON, all the columns are available under a group, which is called this one, items. So this is the one important for us. This is the one important for us, right? For all the 14 rows, you can see it is available under items. So copy this, open the JSON file, copy this, and just place here. Based on that, it will do the iteration like 14 records, it will fetch. Okay. This is provided. Now, how I can get the columns? Click on edit schema. If you have already the columns available, just you can copy paste. But if you don't have, just you can click on add all the columns. Okay. So I need 8 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 columns I have added. And what is the column name? Employee number. This I can even provide the capital letters. Not an issue. Not an issue. This I can even providing a name and a job, and the next column, employee number, e-name, job, MGR. The next, high date, HIREDAG, high date, salary, yes. And the next, here I'm not seeing commission. The reason is for this row, commission is null. If a particular column is having null values, that particular column will not be visible. Example, I have a row with having commission as 300. Think that if there is no row available, even a single row is also not available, then what that particular column we will not be able to see. Okay. So sometimes what happens, client will be expecting that there are 50 columns in my table, but if there is a null value and if the source people providing us JSON file, the all columns may not be present in that JSON file. The only reason is those columns may have null values. You can see here commission is not available here, right? Example, in my database, you can see there are null records. So for this record, the commission will not be visible. And if they provided only couple of records, and if all the records having null value, then the commission you will not be able to see at all. So that was the reason we should never develop a job using sample JSON file in real time. Always we should request them that at least provide the all the columns which are you are thinking that there is a chance to get in JSON file. The column name, data type, you need to request to the source people or else ask them for a file which has all the data. Okay. So those are the two kind of information we will always request in real time. Right now you can see here I'm not seeing commission, but in the second row I have a value. That was the reason I'm seeing the commission. So here I'm selecting COMM commission and this is my department number. Okay, click on OK. So all the data type I have selected as a string. Let us see whether this is working or not. I have selected, I did not change the data type. I selected string, click on OK. Okay, so now here, what I should provide here? Just provide the same format how you are seeing here. Employee number, okay, just provide the same format. In small case and e-name. Why? Because I have this in lowercase letter. I have this in lowercase letter. That was the reason I am providing the names in lowercase. MGR. If you know, just you can write. I did and this is salary column, and COMM commission, and this is department number. For example, I provided ename in capital. What happens if I did not provide the same format? Just I want to know what it happens. So one of the column we have taken it as uppercase, but here if you see it is in lowercase, but still we have taken it as uppercase. So I have provided the columns whatever available in. These are the columns which are available in JSON, and this is a basics metadata columns, whatever the name you can provide. And here whether this is working or not, I want to know. For that, the target table, before taking the target table, just take it as T log row. So what happens, whatever the data available, it will display on the console. T log row component purpose is to display the data on a console. If you want to know more detail about T log row, you can watch my separate video. It is already available. So just I want to check whether everything is working properly or not. Right click here, row main, select the main option. Yes. Right click here, select the row. This is for rejected. If anything is rejected, then if you want to load that into separate, then you can select here. Okay. So I have selected. I want to display it as a table format, tabular format. Whatever the file data available here, we want to display on the console. What is console? This is called console. When you're running the job here, you can see this is called console. If you take the T log row component, what happens? Whatever the data available in this file, it will display on the console in a tabular format. What format you wanted, just select the component, all the properties you need to select in component tab. Okay, then run this and see what happens. If there is no error, the configuration is done properly in this JSON input component, then it will run, otherwise it throws error. Example, you can see, I'm seeing all the columns. Employee number, ename. Ename is displayed null value. The reason is, we will see. Job, MGR, height, salary, commission. Yes, all the columns I got except ename. What is the mistake we did for ename? We provided in the capital letter. The input format JSON query we provided is in capital uppercase, but in JSON we have it is in lowercase. You can see ename is in lowercase. So just take this, write it as ename, write it as ename. Now you see, run this job. We will know whether it is working now or not. If ename is displayed, values in the place of null, yes, now everything is working. I have selected here JSON file, all the data type I have selected in this edit schema. I have selected the metadata as, for every column I selected as a string, right? Now I want to load, my requirement is to not to display on the console. So just now JSON structure is working fine. Now I want to load this data into a target table, which is called Snowflake SnowEMP. Already we created this metadata. It is available here. Just pull the table. Just pull the table here. And I want to output. I don't want to take it as a source. I want to consider it as a target. First, our target, we have to choose TDB output Snowflake. Yes, I got this. And here, select the component and see list of the option. What is the database it is? If you want to change this, then you can change. And all the connection details are taken from the repository. This is a repository. Already we provided username password here. While creating the connection, we provided the username password. You can see username, password, warehouse, database schema. If you want to reutilize the same details, then we have to maintain it as repository. But in case if you want to change or edit anything, drop down here and select built-in, so that system will allow us to editable mode. Now you can see, you can modify anything whatever you want. And I don't want to change, then you can go drop down and you can see repository. No problem, you can keep built-in. It will show in editable mode, but I don't want to change anything. Okay. And here target action. I want to truncate the table before inserting, or if you want to drop the table if it is available. Example, already inside the worksheet. Okay, go to here. Here you can see the table is already available, but always you want to drop and create before the start of the job. In that case, we will select here. I want to create the table. It will create the table if it does not exist, but table is already available. So it throws error if you select this option because I created the table already. And again, if it is trying to create the table with the same name, definitely it will not allow, it throws error. Create if not exist. This option is useful when the table is not available, it will create, or if it is available, it will just ignore. Drop if exists and create. This option we will use whenever before start of the job. It should drop the table and it should create the table. In that cases, we will use this option. Drop if exists and create. Clear. Truncate. Truncate is nothing but we will use this option. I don't want to drop the table. Just I don't want to drop any structure, but I want to delete the data which is available inside the table. Then we will use this option. So what the system does? It will perform a truncate command on this table. So if any data available in this table, first it will clear that, then it will insert. I want to insert or update what exactly? I want to insert. I don't want to update. I want to insert always. And die on error we will use if there is an error, it doesn't show any error, but it will show the job is completed. On console, it displays the error, but the status of the job will be always completed. That was the reason. If you want to consider the status of the job as failed whenever there is an issue, then we will show this as die on error option. Right now you can ignore. Now you see I'm doing right click main. If you want to load all the number of rows, then select main. If you want to load only rejected, then select this option. I'm selecting main. I want to load all the rows available in this JSON file to Snow EMP. And I don't want to perform any transformation between. That was the reason I did not consider any other component. I want to load one-to-one without applying any transformation rules. So I have selected here. Now I'm doing run. The console will be cleared first. Then it will try to run this job. It will take couple of seconds. It will take couple of seconds. Yes, it is doing. It thrown an error. Configuration is successful, but it is thrown an error. The reason is you can see. This is a date, target is a date, but it is not able to accept. So let's change this. Let's change this, edit the schema. So let's change this. It has taken it as a date, you can see. Automatically it has changed. Whenever I linked this to Snow EMP, based on my target, the source file columns got changed. The data type has changed. The big decimal, string, big decimal, etc. It has taken. Now my hide date, it is taken as a date format. Yes, okay, I agree. But here you can see the format is different. My input format is GD MON YYYY. My input format is day is showing in DD format. There is an hyphen. Month is showing in 3-digit. I mean abbreviation. Go for this. 1980 full year. Year format is this one. Perfect. Then hours colon minutes colon second. This is a format which we need to provide. The reason is my input, according to input format, whatever you are getting from the file, the same format, it would be better to provide. Otherwise, it will result in error. Yes, I did it. Now, let's see. Let me run this job. Let me run this job. It will take a couple of seconds. Started fetching. It is trying to fetch the data. Yes, first row, 14 row. Accepted. Now it is inserted. How can I know what happened in Snowflake? The 14 rows got inserted, but exactly what happened? I selected the table action as truncate. Am I correct or not? Whether this is happened really? But I can cross check the data first, whether the data is loaded. Why? Because we created the table just now, right? So definitely prior to this job, there will be no data. Okay, I can execute this and see whether that I got the data or not. Yes, I received the data. Successfully, I have received the data. Here it is showing comma, but it doesn't indicate the data itself. It is having a comma. Here you can remove the comma. Always a number data type. It will show in decimals, but if you don't want, just go here and you can remove. It is only display, but in the backend it will show 7902. It will never consider comma. Okay, but how I know what happened in the backend? Go to here. If you have the sysadmin, then you can verify this option. Inside the activity, if you are having a sysadmin role, then definitely you can verify this option inside the Snowflake. Here you can see activity. Come to here, activity query history. Change this to today, last day, whatever the commands it got executed. Just now I did select star from EMPS. Prior to it, what it did? You can see. First, it created the temporary table. Prior to it, what it did? I have selected the truncate command, right? So it deleted the data. It has deleted the data, right? So this is the command where it is starting. Deleted the data. Then the data has loaded into this file path. This is the file which backend it has performed. All the data it has kept here. It created a temporary table, create temporary table, and it loaded the data into this Snow EMP. You can see this is the temporary table name. This table name is only for this particular session. Basically, all ELT tools, before loading into the target table, definitely they will create the temporary table. This is the rule of the ELT. Extract, load to a temporary table, then apply the transformation rule. Okay. Then you can see it created. Then whatever the data available in this temporary table, it is trying to insert here. You can see. Insert into from this temporary table. These are the list of the commands it got executed whenever you have run the job. You can see how many commands. Truncate you have selected. So this, in the place of truncate, just to cross verify these commands, for your purpose to cross verify these commands, in the place of truncate, I want to choose an option called drop the table, then create the table. So before start of the job, you can see there is no drop command. It executed delete, but it did not drop it. Now run this job. Now run this job. Now run this job. And if you want to know that Snowflake, what is the use, etc., basic commands and basic information about this Snowflake, there is a separate video I have uploaded, which is called Snowflake Tour. You can watch that video. And here you can see it is inserted already. I want to know what happened. Just refresh this. Refresh this. Yes. Now you see here it dropped. Drop table if exists. Yes, it executed the drop command. Then it created the table. Then the rest of the option. Finally, it is inserted. You can see in the place of delete, now it dropped and it created. Earlier, what happened? In the place of drop, it executed delete because you have selected an option called truncate. So based on your target action, it performs the DDL action. Basically, truncate comes under DDL. Truncate, drop comes under DDL. So what action you wanted here on the table? What action you wanted on the table? That is the purpose of this table action. Whether you want to drop, truncate, etc. And this is a DML option. I want to insert, I want to update, or I want to upset, etc. Clear? I hope this is clear. And if you have any questions, you can just mention that in the comment box. Then I will reply or I will upload a new video accordingly. Thank you.